Hey guys, Kevin, PokeWings back once again, and this is probably one of my favorite news shows that I was able to vend at last weekend in Indiana from the Fort Wayne area, and there were so many big high dollar deals that happened, and quite possibly one of the quickest big dollar sales for one specific card that I've ever done ever at any show like previously. That will be the very first clip, and I'm still shocked by it. And there's a lot of other big deals that took place this entire weekend. Quite possibly one of my favorite news shows for the past year. So this easily made like a top four. But enough blathering, talking, whatever. Let's get to that first big transaction thanks to the young lady that picked it up. Already in progress.
All right, first big opener of the day, and it hadn't even been opening hours yet, but the last Rumble card that we have, that Pikachu sold out like just Wednesday, and now Mew is gone, so we are all out of Rumbles. They've already let VIPs in. Where is the entranceway? I'm like in the, I don't know which camera angle it's at. It's like back that direction, but that was impressive for like the first full hour to sell off that Mew for the Rumble, so that didn't last long. So far, it's been good. The only other thing that sold was the soundtrack demo. It was the Final Fantasy demo CD that was like $25, so 700 in the first hour is pretty damn good, so I'm pretty excited about today. Last of the Pokemon Emerald, the modified one for the battery compartment, is going away to a customer originally for $285, but we're going down to $265. Well, it's the first hour, and that didn't last very long. The Ancient Mew that we had just gotten recently is going away for $125. Right, I won't get them on camera. They waited so patiently for me dealing with another customer that had brought in a decent amount of singles from their binder. That was like a $45 pickup. And then they saw that in the pile. They wanted that along with the ferret that I was just pricing out. That was $8. So originally for $98, I think, or $99 was the total, but we gave them a discount for being patient for $90. Thanks for the trade. So decent amount of Gundam is going out. A few things of note. There's 2 silver bullets, down to 1 more left on that. The Sayla, Alt Art, Duo Maxwell, and a few other ones from the binder, and I had some adjustments on the Ray. And they brought in some OP stuff. I've been a little bit low, but finally got in some more Jewelry Bonnies. They had 2 mangas, but I unfortunately passed on the Rebecca Alt Art, 2 Alt Arts, and Tashigi. I think that's Peach Momoko art. And I just owed them $260 cash on top. Selling off the Umbreon EX full art, or secret rare, I forget the exact term, but it's XY era, going away for originally $150 down to $140. The update time, it's been busy. It's a lot quieter down now, as opposed to like maybe about 20 minutes ago. The booth was like filled up, but I'm gonna kind of show off right quick the stuff that I just got in the last hour. Still sorting through it. There was like a mix of like One Piece and some other stuff, but just give me 1 second, I'll show that camera off. So the stuff that did come in, I'm trying to remember exact layout for all of these, but these were the most recent ones. The vending series, it was like a trainer, then sealed kickback, or whatever the set was called, but this one was most expensive of a lot. And they picked out the Arbok, the one that was the wizard stamp. That one was around 55, but we just owed around 70 cash on top. This was a different deal. Gentleman was from Germany. He brought in a bunch of other ones. There was like a premium pack 6, I think it was with Red Eyes Black Dragon, that was on the front cover. And we gave them around, I believe it was 65 cash on top. So there was like some Champions pack cards for Karibo. These were like very cheap. Cold Wave, it's like meta-wise was a little bit cheaper, but he just threw that in for free. Most expensive one of the lot, I believe, was Premium Pack 7. I don't remember what's on this one, but I know that
this was the movie pack that was out during the early 2000s, so that was a separate deal for that. And then this was with an Espeon, and I forget what the other card was on top. But this is damaged, second ever Legendary Collection, but I mean, it's still good filler because people do collect these. So that ended up being around 30, I want to say. Yeah, it was like, no, this was 27. So 27 and then they owe cash on top. So that is kind of like in the last hour. I've just been very behind. As you can see, like I've just been very busy as of late. So overall, really good. Like the show's been pretty good so far. So Rebecca is officially gone. It was like stuck right there because I just got those jewelry bonnies. But yeah, paid decent amount for that one. I was kind of surprised to see how much this one was, but she only wanted the Rebecca, so we basically owed around 115 cash on top. These have been selling pretty high over the last 2 days, around like 375, I think is what it was at. She had it a little bit lower, but I mean, still, winter stamp cards are always stuff that I like taking in because they're like promos and I don't usually see them around. So overall, pretty happy with it. Like today's been very good for high dollar cards. That's Skyridge Vaporeon. Somebody was just looking for this, and oddly enough, we had one left, and it's going away to a customer's collection for 90. There's a few things that got removed out. There was a Romanor Zoro that I had for like 40, and then the Lily's Determination SIR that was over on that side, and 525 for my first manga. So this I was not expecting. A couple of people had some mangas earlier. I wanted to be able to get something that was in a reasonable ballpark amount. There was around 625 in trade is what I had offered on that, and they basically dropped it down by like 100. They had to do some transfers, but we agreed roughly like 515, so he ate the $10 fee on there. So it ended up being around 525 cash total on top. It's what we owed. So now I have a second. Well, now this is my most expensive card at the booth, aside from like graded stuff. So I'm pretty happy about that. So this that we got in the trade deal about a few days ago with that Pikachu Rumble is officially going to a vendor, and it is going with the guard because that was like a freebie that we got with it, and we gave them a deal for $430. So that's biggest sale for the day. And I meant to say that was the second biggest sale of the day. I don't know why I said that was the biggest, because the Mew Rumble was the biggest thing for the whole entire day. But yeah, that's a hell of a day to finish off on. So that was my mistake. I thought I was done, and I am shocked to see how much this thing has gone up for. I remember, I think it was last year, I remember that this card was like around 100 or something. I had no idea that this thing had gone up to $300 and above that now. So somebody explain to me why this is just so much more pricier. But we gave the customer about $250 cash on top. Personally, for me, that is gonna probably go quick. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the day, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. It's Sunday morning. Good morning, everybody. Back over at it for Indiana, and I just got done doing one quick deal, made about $50 cash on top. The main things that ended up selling off, well, technically cash and a partial trade, the two promos that were Peach Momoko, or it's very early, but Peach, you know what it is, the female artist. The two sealed promos from One Piece, both, it was the Bo Hancock and the Onami, and they brought over like a bunch of like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and this is about the most amount of like decent quality. Kind of just like showed that off here just a quick second. So this is kind of like the whole entire mess. I still got like all of this stuff that needs to be updated, stuff that needs to be in binders, and still pricing everything. But this was all of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that I am about to put out in the binders, and I didn't realize there was like a decent amount of these that are like holding their value. They're not a whole lot. The most expensive one out of the bunch is probably going to be the Secret Rare First Ed Blue Eyes. This is from movie pack 1, or whichever like one from like years ago, but this one's roughly about like $20 is what that goes for. These not so much. These are, I think they're in like the $5 range. I have to like double check to verify. That Dark Magician Girl would have been around 20, but the condition on it's not the greatest, so I think it still goes for about roughly, I want to say like $5. So there's a decent amount of them, and yeah, that was pretty much about it with like the not $5, $50 cash on top. And that's like the main update right now. I haven't even had a chance to get all of the binders out, but we're expected to maybe do maybe a little bit more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff for trades. I don't know how well it's going to do today. There was like one other thing for Yu-Gi-Oh that sold yesterday, but I forgot to document. It was like a $4 card, but it wasn't anything like standoutish unless you're like playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. That's kind of the update right now. This should be a fun day for like day 2. Probably expecting to make like about 500 today to make it like it in the top 5 for like best shows for all year. So that's about the update. I've already said that many times, but yeah, I'll see you guys back in a sec for the first deal. All right, VIP hour is officially done, but on to the main floor. First sales, these were from the same person that bought some from us yesterday, and they're picking up these 3 altogether for 80.
The microphone is dead at the moment. I had to switch over to the regular mic, but altogether some more Dragon Ball stuff going out for 57.
Well, this is kind of embarrassing. I forgot to hit record as far as the outro, but this was a good show. First year, and it was very busy for pretty much both days, especially today with the amount of like buying. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that I did pick up. I forgot to document it, but yeah, overall, this was a phenomenal first year, and they ran it perfectly fine. There were some people that had complaints about the amount of money that they were making off of it, but I mean, this is like an hour away from my house, and I was able to do probably some of my best numbers of all year. Like, this is at least top 5. I had to do a head count as far as like the amount of money I was doing, but it was still a $2,500 weekend. That to me is still a goal that I want to like keep going and breaking every time I keep going to a different show. But that is it from Fort Wayne. This is probably the second time I've been in the Fort Wayne area doing a show for here. I did Pokepalooza or Collector Palooza, which was like around April, I think is when that was. And then, of course, there was the Kokomo other show. It was like a collector's market and like an armory. I think that was like about last year that I did that one. That one was okay, but it doesn't compare to this show. This show is phenomenal, and I will definitely be back for next time. But that's it. I'm going to make my way back home. Thank you for watching. To everybody who wasn't able to make it out, hopefully I can see you at Northgate. That's going to be next weekend. That one will be about a little bit longer ways from compared to like this one, but you'll still see me there doing more deals and also for more One Piece and other stuff too, but mostly Pokemon. But that's it. Love you guys. Have a good one, and as always, you know how I end these videos and all sweaty, and it's not as bad outside. Stay strong, stay positive, and most important of all, love ya. Have a good one.